And before I even get started, man, I wanted to thank you guys for coming to the channel and actually spending your time listening to me rant about the marketplace. It's funny because I have so much fun doing these videos, and when I see you guys having actually some positive feedback or success with the concepts or just understanding what the fuck I'm talking about in general, you do some cool things, right? I'm just so hyped that you guys are asking questions. I'm hyped that you are back testing, forward testing. Bro, seriously, just go into the chart and you'll find all the evidence of what we talk about here. That's why when we talk about like ICT concepts or how it relates to gold back levels or things like that. Now, me personally, bro, and this is actually a very, very simple video, right? But what I wanted to get towards, like, I'll be honest, bro. There's a lot of people who understand the main idea or the concept to you got. And as you noticed, like I did a my bad, let me light the wood real quick. I did a video on New York midnight opening price either yesterday or the other day. Sometimes time just blends in for me altogether, so I have no idea when I dropped the last video. It could have been yesterday or today. I don't know. I drop videos, dog. That's all I do. But long story short, and the wood is lit. Long story short, like I wanted to go back over the fair value gap just because I did a quick little video on it last year. I just wanted to tap back into it. But just like for example, like I'll give you the obvious one, right? You already know if I ever get quiet, I'm just hitting the wood. Relax. Now, obviously, this fair value gap is 15-minute fair value gap. It's time frame specific. And when you come in, and again, I understand where, oh man, I really wish that he made this easier for us the first time around. Because when we talk about like the PD rays themselves, and I've said this a million times, they're not going to work if they're not in the correct level. And so when we're talking about fair value gap, a lot of my first teachings are on this one because the average ICT trader understands that. So I don't have to go in and teach Burger's mitigation block right away. You're going to get confused. And you're going to ask me, like, bro, is it even in the right level? Because I can't see it. But the fair value gap is, I feel like, a easy one to where even if we want to even slightly, kind of, and I'll do this differently. I'm just looking to give you some game on like why these fair value gaps are found in a certain place and how to take a better one. And I mean, no way, no way, hold up. Okay. If I ever freak out like that, yo, if you're one of my students and you're watching this video, you know exactly why I'm laughing. You know exactly why I'm laughing with this two lines on the screen. I don't have to say anything about it. If you're not in the Discord, that's on you. I'm not going to explain myself. Now, we're talking about this fair value gap. Dude, I literally want to run to my Discord and post this. This is so crazy. But if you're not understanding what's on the screen right now, I'm not going to explain it. Anyway, this fair value gap is one of the best ones on the day, okay? And again, I don't really trade Monday, but today we traded. Now, For example, we always talk about market organization first. So, what is the main big idea that was down here before I get to another gap? Okay. What's the main thing that was clearly set in stone by the time you woke up today? It was this new week opening gap, right? Okay. And how do we know it's a new week opening gap? It's from Friday to your Sunday. Okay. So this is a specific gap. All right. Dude, I love this stuff is so interesting. It's just like you can't help but to, even after all these years, I still get fascinated, bro. And I love discovering new things for myself. I'm always a student of the marketplace. As much as I know, I'll never stop trying to learn. And you should never do the same either. So, like, hold on, let me hit the wood. Oh my god. Now I got some new ganja. This is not the weed that tastes like the Oreos. This tastes more like I mean, I'm smoking a Russian cream right now, which I don't normally get. The one store was out of like I try to buy 5, 10 packs, 20 packs at a time, but I was only able to get like 5 packs of dark stout and like a bunch of other Russian creams. So I'm stuck smoking these Russian creams for about a day. Anyway, these end walls or new week opening gap, right? These are simple function. If you wake up and it's 9 o'clock in the morning and you still have not rebalanced or jumped back to a new week opening gap, you might want to target that. This is one of the easiest targets in the marketplace. And we do have liquidity coming up this week. So the more we talk about liquidity, internal, external, long term, short term, intermediate, oh, we got a lot to talk about. But let's stay on topic, okay? All right. So this fair value gap, well and great. Now again, when I was trading on New York session today, a lot of my students were they understood the context here. The first thing I did was literally wake up, draw a box in this gap, and was like, "Yo, everybody trade towards that. That's it. I do not have to bring out the big guns every time I trade, bro. Like even if I'm looking at go back levels or not, and I'll put them on at a certain spot to show you what they looked like. But this is my thing. If we're talking about again, I'm going to delete this because I don't want to look at that anymore. But I do want to look at again how perfect this gap was, and again, this is 9:30. Okay, um, all the best gaps, right? Again, I'm on a 15 minute, but we don't normally trade from just a 15 minute, or at least I don't. So I'm gonna put that in there for reference, but I'm not using it like that. Now I want to come down. I'm gonna do it one time frame at a time, also, so you can see what I mean about fair value gaps being time frame specific. So the same way you see how the dimensions for this one is here to here. Yep. But if I go and I actually refine it, right? It's an actual smaller gap that I could use on the 5 minute. Very nice, right? And so, oh man, I'm just ecstatic at what I just saw. Um, yes, if you understand what I was freaking about in the comments, you're welcome to post it. I don't really care. But just so you know, again, we're talking about not just any fair value gap, but the fucking ones that work, man. So yes, I need you to pull that level out and start using them. We talked about how, and again, let's go to 81, 243, just something good for intraday. Okay. Now, this is what I want to make clear. I always talk about this in a lot of my teachings, right? Where again, your fair value gap is again, if you're telling me you're looking in the area, you're having trouble finding fair value gaps, I'm gonna give you a little gem, all right? I've not done this, I don't think, in another video. If you guys want to copy my color layout, you're more than welcome. Okay. I just like to paint my fair value gap blue or to just use certain levels of certain colors just so I can see it better. Okay. So if you come down 83 and 89, you're going to make blue, all right, for your um premium, and then for your discount, it's 11 and 17. Make these blue, and you're going to have your fair value level the same as mine. Okay, and so I just like fair value gap. I think it's cool, right? So when people say I'm looking for the best ones, we needed to beware the right level. Bro, you guys have never been here with me like while not smoking. It's just never gonna happen. But when you're looking at this gap, right? Notice how when you even see that the gap is like where it's formed at, right? Obviously it's this big, but when you actually look at the fair value level and the gap that you have between the top of the actual imbalance and the actual fair value level, look how much space you got in between, like where it rebalances. It's perfect, isn't it? Here, let me not. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly. It's fucking perfect. Is that not in the right level? Yes, it is. And people always get confused, and that's why I made this video. Your gap, right? Even if it's an inverse, you can still use that in the right partition or part of the partition, right? So like when you see how this is a clear inverse fair value gap, it gets disrespected to the buy side when we come back down, no problem. Now you're also in a premium, so we're not expecting to buy the shit anyway. Ooh, I just said something. Anyway, if you're watching this, right, and you're let's turn these off. Here, sell side liquidity. Now, after your fair value, what comes next? Liquidity void. Even if it's a fractal one, it's still going to work in the same level. Okay. And again, what is that? Liquidity void. It's ugly because it's Monday, but what is it? Liquidity void. And where does it end? In the other liquidity void. Oh, Jay, it doesn't complete my partition. I was so hell bent on getting to the bottom of the 243 that, I hope we got down there. Feel you, man. Feel you. But you need to understand that it's not just one dealing range, okay? You gotta be content. You gotta be content. You gotta be content with what it's giving you. Like I said, the 243 Nasdaq does smash these things often. I'm yes, bro. But what I'm also getting you to understand is to pay attention to again, the chart is your artwork. Also leave in the comments if you guys like my new thumbnails. If not, I don't care because I like them. Anyway, when you see stuff like this, right? Again, the chart is your artwork. This is your canvas. Fair value gap. We already saw from the 243 level that this is a real fair value gap. Now coming down here, let's look again. Ready? Now again, I'm on a 5 minute chart. For those who can't see. Now let's go downward. Blunt went out in my hands, my guy. Are we able to find another gap? Let's see. Now, being on the 1 minute is ultimate, obviously, but we're looking for cells clearly. Now, this gap in here, you see this little annoying thing? So let's get rid of this. All right? Just so you can feel my point. So here, do you see how this is 11 o'clock? Now, if you watched my entry hack video earlier today, I was in a one-on-one with a student, and we were looking at this play here. This is what the video is from, this price action. And so, obviously, I talked about some stuff here. If I left it in the video, I don't care. You guys can watch it. And again, we have clear liquidity here. Okay. I talk about how we make liquidity here. All right. And all these, I mean, listen, bro, like we already talked about why we're coming down in the first place. So the same way that I say, hey, like I want you guys to let me I just want to come down and be more understanding of again, being able to operate not just from your own perspective, but from the markets. And so when you see stuff like this, bro, this is why me and my students do well, bro. We understand exactly what the DOL is. So all these times, bro, that you're watching these relative equal lows, getting all these low lows here that are not touching my target, I don't give a fuck about these retracements, bro. I really don't. I really don't. And we understand why we came up. So when you're in here or you're here, you're already understanding of what price is looking for. Now it's going to come down, and I mean now we finally what did we finally feel that little yeah. And I like that, right? Because the bigger part of the gap we are not fully filled. No, no. We finally filled it. Never mind. My bad. I'm just seeing this now, 8 o'clock p.m. Yeah, we filled it. I'm just seeing that. So we finally filled it. I had a student whose target was the end of the gap, but we weren't able to fill it by end of session, right? So here, let's operate this correctly. Yeah, yeah. Then right here, 8 o'clock p.m. Perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Just want to leave a little mark there. All right. But this is my point. If we already understand that the gap needs to be filled, okay? New week opening gap. Normally, then I'm not saying it right in the moment that you're looking for this to fill automatically. I'm just looking for taps there. So as soon as we get back down there, we're out of the trade. We've been trading towards that shit all fucking day, right? Way more than one DOL that you can take profit at or take partials. And again, we're operating gold back levels. So we're in here. Let's get back down to a 3. How about that? Not quite the 1, not quite the 5. I like that. Again, right? Gap up there. Are we still? Yeah, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. The 81 is great here. We're going to check the 27 in a second for this gap. But how you're viewing it, do you see how the candles here are coming up to this gap? Now, when I actually like release this a little bit, thank you. Look at my point. We are still in a what? Fair value gap level. There's an imbalance through this blue level, even though it starts a little above and it ends like, inside the level. This is perfectly fine. And so when you see rebalancing of structure here, right, you got another one. Notice what price is doing. It's not looking to stay up there very long. And when you get to making another run up here, we don't even get that fair value gap again. We get right to the level slightly, but we don't get the gap again. And so again, we know that liquidity void level is right underneath that. And what does it do again? And again, it's shitty because it's Monday. It's dog shit because it's Monday. Yeah, liquidity void. But this is my thing. You end up being able to complete an 81, no problem. And this is what I've said before on my community tab. If you don't read my community tab, you probably should at least once a day because I post some cool shit. Now, this is my thing. If you're trading minis, I'm gonna do a whole video on this. You can actually send 2 contracts through an 81 past any funded challenge. You want to send 20 micros through that shit? Have more partials? You pass the funded challenge. It's $3,000. Yeah, this is $3,000. All you got to do, I'm not saying here, but I'm saying in general, we obviously had another partition that we used. So we talk about the 81 a lot for reasons. There you go. Now let's go upward again. Ready? You telling me you can't complete that? You can't pass the funded challenge right there? Why not? Why not? You tell me. You complicate your trading. I'm lighting the wood again. Oh man. Trading is not difficult, man. You just need the right information. You need the right expectations. Sure as a person. I'm 32 years old, if anybody didn't know. I look like I'm 25 or 24. People tell me all the time. But bro, I've been here for a while. And like I said, there's nothing that comes close to how accurate these levels are. Now, I wanted to save this one for last. Why? It's the best fucking entry, literally. But like I said, when we talk about these things, we talked about this gap here first and a lower one. Now, this is the best entry of the day, obviously. You just step into 9 o'clock, right? Now, I want to operate this a certain way. So let's go here. Replay. And exactly. All right. We just need a couple candles. All right. Just like that. All right. We can go power. Oh my lord. Okay. Bro, I'm really fried. Like, this is some good, but really. I wanted to show you, right? Bro, if you can feel how heavy my eyelids just got. Oh my. I'm not even tired. It's just literally me just being, I do a lot in a day. So obviously, it's the same thing I'm talking about. Now, the context of this is clearly you see how we have resistance from premium EXT level, which is nothing but the 81 above us has an order block level right here. Okay. That's why you see a lot of order blocks on this level a lot. Okay. Or consolidation or however you want to put it. Right. Whatever. Yes, you have gap down here, things like that. Now again, I'm operating a slightly not big, but it's a good enough dealing range to where if you're looking at this and you're like, yo, I'm not sure if this is a real fair value gap or not. I'm not sure. I don't see it in the level, it's down here. Now you're probably coming down here saying, well, maybe this is an inverse. Can I use it that way? Sure. Why not? Right? If you're hip to inverse fair value gaps, I mean, it's not really the most difficult. All you need to do is look for a bullish fair value gap and a premium, and it goes up. And once it gets disrespected, take this run back up and sell it. Now it goes slightly outside of this one, and you land in this one, and you can sell it. But obviously, this gap is in your fair value level, so you'd probably look for that if you're like, oh well, I don't know about that one, but I can see that in the level. Okay, I'll accept that. But watch, just bring it down, bro. Just bring it down, bro. All right. Now watch the way you're looking at it. You're gonna be like, well, okay. The 27 is a monster, and you need to be able to use it. Now you're telling me that your 81 wasn't in the right GB level with your fair value gap. Now, this is clearly a combination, and that's why you're able to see price go slightly bigger than the level, but the gap itself is where? Through your fair value gap. Uh-huh. Are you concerned about that fair value gap now? You've already been to an EXT level up here. There's another one here for your 27. And you have a nice displacement with a fair value gap, perfect rebalance, and you're met with liquidity that you can aim at. What's difficult about that? And again, if you miss that, just take the liquidity void. Entry hack the liquidity void. If you see my entry hack video, that'll make some sense to you. Excellent. Absolutely excellent. It's perfect. And now, same thing with this one too. That inverse we just talked about. And if you wanted to use that, you would say, oh shit, well, damn, this is right in the level. Oh, we go a little higher here, right? It's fine. But it's respectful of the high. It actually goes right into your rejection block. It's fine. I like that. And again, Mondays can be a little messy, but it works fine. And do you smash go back levels? You do. Massive moves. Massive. So I just wanted you to get more into switching your PO3. If you see something that's not in the right level, switch your dealing range. And I guarantee you'll check and see whether this is a real fair value gap or one you need to ignore. All right. And again, 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 to 7. That's 9:10, 9:16, 9:17, and down. Uh, if you understand exactly what I just said and why I said it, you're probably laughing. This was such a fun video. I'll see you guys in the next one.